person's down here. If you're with someone who's depressed, it's so easy if you simply take a nice sigh, because they sigh all the time. If you just sigh like this. And then when you start to speak, you're in the same place. You're right in the same place, and they feel that you understand. On the other side of it, if somebody's really upset, if they've been in an accident and they say, oh my God, I didn't even see that car. Can you see my heart is palpitating? Can you see my hands are also, I didn't even see, I'm so upset. I couldn't hold on to the steering wheel. I don't know what happened. Well, a person who speaks like that is, of course, in that altered state we talked about earlier, and that person doesn't even remember having said that. They think they thought it, but they don't remember having said it. So if you can repeat their words back to them, if you can say, wow, you're really shaken. I can see that you're shaking. I bet you didn't even see that car coming. Oh, it's really upsetting, isn't it? It must have been but you couldn't even hold on to the steering wheel. That person will think that you can read his mind. How did you know that? God, you're good. I'm going to stick around with you. You get it. I'm telling you, when somebody feels you get it, you are their hero. So that's what you do. You pace with them. You demonstrate the depth of your understanding so that you can be trusted. Here's somebody who can be trusted. A nurse once said to me, you can't always cure, but you can always care. Well, that's what you're showing there. So how do you pace? You reflect back the person's words and actions or mood so that they can see that you're with them and they're not alone. Body language is another important part. Probably every one of you knows that when you're talking to a child, if you bend over from the waist, that is not meeting a child in the same place. If you kneel down next to that child so you're eye to eye, that kid will talk to you, and it won't just nod and run away. When your body language says, I'm here with you, that's really important. And we pacing the emotions, as I said, reflecting back the person's mood is what you do, at least at the start. Don't try to cheer them up right away. Somebody sent me this proverb, 25:20, singing cheerful songs to a heavy heart is as bad as stealing someone's clothes in winter or pouring salt on a wound. I think that's funny, but don't try to cheer them up right away. It doesn't make them feel better. Pace with them, be where they are from the start. And the reason that you do that is so that you can take them from where they are to some place of safety. You want to pace and lead. When you pace with someone, you speak their language. When you speak their language, they know they've been heard, and you gain rapport. And then once you've gained rapport, you can lead them to safety, to calm, and to healing. So this is, for me, the best, absolutely best example of pacing and leading, of being where the person is and then taking them to safety. When somebody has asthma, of course, they're frightened. They can't catch their breath. The bronchioles get even tighter as they become more and more panicked. And if you're with someone who has asthma and they don't have an inhaler, you might try this. Start breathing with them where they are and take them where they need to go. So it looks like this. You say, I can see how difficult it is for you to catch your breath. But if you breathe along with me, you can begin to notice that it gets easier and easier to breathe. That's right, like this. Good. That's good. I taught this to the pediatric residents at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the head doctor said that the first person she saw after she learned this was an 8-year-old girl having an asthma attack, and she did this with her, and the girl didn't need any medication. She was able to bring her back. It's just a matter of being where they are and then leading them to safety. Somebody said, don't they think you're crazy while you're sitting there gasping for breath? No, they just want somebody to throw them a rope. You're throwing them a rope. You're leading them to safety. And that's pacing and leading. Remember, too, that reverse pacing exists, and in emergency, patients will mirror the rescuer's behavior. Therefore, the attitude and manner of the rescuer, physician, or nurse is much more important than it seems. If first responders panic, they set an example for future reaction. And that is how to give the therapeutic suggestions. The main